Hey guys, and welcome to another day on the shop. Today we are not taking this phone call. We are going to be working on the Focus. So let's get into it. We're going to go get in the car and take a drive, and I'll explain everything while we're driving. Let's do that. Alright, so we are in the Focus now. Excuse the loud squeaking sound. Oh, and if you see how dirty this thing is, it's because my daughter decided to run
Sync
it.
has connected to your phone.
Excuse that. If it seems dirty, it's because my daughter decided to get in here after having some dirt all over her feet. So, the issue with this wonderful car is I changed the tires, and there's a reason why I changed the tires. One had a bunch of flat spots in it, and I'll show you when we get back. But come to find out, after changing the tires and all, it was a bad hub that ended up making the tire the way it was. So you'll hear the vibrations in just a minute, and the vibrations and the rough road noise is all due to a bad hub. So that bad hub has caused flat spots because I was rotating the wheel over, and rotating the wheel over with the hub, it actually moves at a certain area on the tire. So let's see, I don't know if you can hear the rumbling, but the rumbling and the road noise is where it's coming from, and it's that rear driver's side. So that noise, it sounds like the tire has flat spots or anything else, that's the tire that I'm having issues with. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on back home. We're going to put the car in front of the shop because I don't have any room in the shop yet. Still haven't finished the 240. And I got a pair of rear hubs for a Focus, this two-wheel drive. If you need them, they will be in the link in the description below. I like Detroit axle, so I got me some Detroit axles. Cost about $110 before taxes. So to me, it's really worth it. It's going to save this other tire from getting flat spots all on it, especially since I got brand new tires on this thing. Brand new tires are all balanced. I have a little bit of a turn in my steering wheel where it's not completely straight. So I need to possibly get an alignment that will get the most out of my tires. And yeah, so we put 10,000 miles on this car ever since we bought it, and we went through 5 tires. One of them I had to change out because it had very bad flat spot in it. Well, when I changed it, I got another tire that was used just to have another tire, and that other tire decided to do the same thing as the other one. Get a bunch of flat spots actually in it. And then before I could get my tires ordered and everything else, the front passenger side decided to meet its demise on the interstate. So I had that blowout, and yeah. So with that, we had a blowout, and then we changed the tires over, and now we got to change the hub. I do want to change that AC compressor, but it works, and all it does is just squeal because the bearings are going out slowly. I do put white with lithium grease in there, and it'll stop for a little bit, but then it starts right back. It really either needs to be taken apart and rebuilt, or a new one needs to be bought and put in, but I do not want to have to sit there and buy more Freon and have to empty the system and then put new Freon in and pull a vacuum and all that just for the sake of noise, even though it does drive me crazy. But that's another $150 to almost $200 worth of stuff just to take our noise away. Eventually I plan on doing that, but right now I'm not too worried about it. You turn the radio up and you don't ever hear it. A lot of times it'll quit whenever the AC is not on, but like right now the AC is not on and it still sounds like I'm running off the squirrels. That's bright. So we're gonna get home, like I said, and we're gonna take a look at this and look at it in detail. I can't really show you the problem with the hub because it's so minute. When I was looking at it, it was difficult for me to see, but it does come up a couple millimeters as you rotate the tire over, and as it comes up a couple millimeters, that causes the tire to kind of create flat spots. So now that we're home, we're going to get to the shop. So let's do that. So excuse the wind noise. Here's my two Detroit Axle premium wheel bearings. They're premium. So like I said, I ordered these and just tried to break it. And got them in 2 days after I ordered them. So, they're universal for the rear. Alright, so they're a full out hub, bearing, and ABS sensor. So there's the ABS sensor. There's 4 bolts on here. And so now all we should have to do is pop the wheel off, the brake off, and then get behind the hub and take the 4 bolts out from behind the hub and pop this wire out, and it should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy-ish like that. So that should be the deal, and it shouldn't take too long. I want to redo both, even though all I need is one right now. But I want fresh new parts all the way around if I can do it. So that's what I'm going to do, and you're going to be along for the ride. I'll probably just narrate this because I do have a bouncy house, and the bouncy house has 2 fans, and those 2 fans or blowers are really loud with my kids playing on it. So let's get out here, pop this wheel off, get this hub off, get the new hub on, and then get rid of this noise. First, we're going to jack the car up just a little bit. We're going to break loose all the lug nuts using 19mm. Then we're going to take the wheel off. Once we take the wheel off, we set it up under there because I don't have a jack stand for the grass. Next, we're looking at the calipers. And the caliper's showing where the 2 bolts are on the back side of that, and then we're looking at a picture of the 4 bolts on the back side of the hub and the ABS clip as well. We'll pop the caliper off using a T7. Using this T7, you have 2 bolts, and you're going to pop the caliper off as well as putting the pad somewhere. Then you're going to use a 13mm socket for the bracket. Once you get all this off, you're going to want to try and get that brake caliper off, or excuse me, the brake rotor off. Use some PB Blaster here to loosen it up, and just a dead blow hammer. Once I got it off, set it to the side in a clean place, and then we're going to get to the back of the hub. Back here we're using an E14 reverse Torx socket, and there's 4 bolts. We pop it off. Right now I'm looking at all the bolts and then comparing the hubs themselves. They look identical. And then I clean up the bolts, put some thread locker on there, replace the hub, get all 4 bolts back in there, and we start the sequence of putting everything back together in reverse order. Anything you see in this video will be in the link in the description below, as also the torque settings for each bolt. So check out that. If you have any questions or anything else, put them in the comments and we'll answer them for you. Alright, so that took about 30 to 45 minutes on one side, only because I was having issues, because from the factory, the bolts that go on the back of the hub are a Torx style, and so it's difficult getting something in there. On top of, they had a lot of Loctite on there, a lot. I mean, they're not meant to come off, because if they came off, your wheel would go down the road without you. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult. But we got it. All the information, specs, and everything else should be in the video and will be down below for your knowledge. Yeah, anything you saw in this video is going to be linked in the description down below. And if you have any comments or anything else, leave them down below in the comments. Well, it's comment section. But yeah, this would have been much easier on a lift, just because of where the whole hub assembly is. On 240s and other things like that, it's a lot simpler, because on the rear axle, it's just simple to get to. It's right on the back of the hub. It's not recessed into a pressed metal piece that's basically welded together and then creates a whole lot of issues with the chock in the way. So that was my issue with that. A shop would probably charge you anywhere from $400 to $800 to do this job. It can be done in the grass, in your driveway, or whatever, with some simple hand tools. Anything you need will be, like I said, in the link in the description, tool-wise. So, yeah. But thanks again for joining into another episode of the shop. If you have any questions, down below. Watch some more videos. Focus, 240s, expeditions. Yeah, so until next time.